Okay, welcome to our Calculus BC, our AP Calculus BC open house video. I want to start with, if you have any questions or concerns about anything in this video or in general, you can reach me at this email address. So here is some information about the course. I'll start off with a little course description. I'm not going to read all this so you can go through all this. It is posted online. You'll be able to access it. And again, I can answer any questions you have or send you a copy if you like via email. So first of all, the test date is on Monday, May 9th, and that is kind of our ultimate goal as we go through the curriculum. So again, I'm not going to read all of this stuff to you, but extra help is by appointment. We do have this ILT time in the middle of the day, so that's where students are going to want to get their extra help. I also run extra help sessions all the time. Pre-COVID, I was running some sessions like on a Saturday even, Saturday morning, Sunday morning at Panera. But I don't know, that's probably not going to work anymore with COVID, but we could do some Zoom sessions on the weekend. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But when there's big tests coming up and stuff, sometimes I like to do a weekend where students have a little more time typically to spend an hour with me to do some stuff. Textbook used, I use something called OneNote. We're going to look at that a little closer in a minute because I use lots of different resources. Grading policy, I do total points. You can read all of this at your leisure. On the tests, not on the quizzes, I score the tests. The tests are hard. They're AP style tests. Same with the quizzes, but the tests are even they're worth more points. So I do use this scale on the tests. So there's always going to be 18 raw points on the test. So for instance, if you get a 9 out of 18 out of the raw points, that's 50%. This scale would get you a 75%. So that 50 would be scaled up to a 75. I'll go through that with students as we get closer to our first quiz or test. Again, you can read this at your leisure. This is just my guess. Okay, I try to plan everything out. This is about how the points are going to go for quarter 3. Quarter 4, we're going to be reviewing. I don't know how I attack grades there. I always like to change it around and stuff. It's basically going to be effort based though as we go through review materials. I make this at the start of each year. Sorry, that's kind of grainy, not helpful. But I do have this document if you do want to see it. I go week by week. I put in the content that we need to cover so I can see when we will be done by. So there's our AP test on May 9th. Remember, these are weeks. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those slots say review, and those are weeks. So if we actually stick to this ambitious plan, we have 6 weeks of review at the end of the course. I show the students this right away so that as we're going really quickly, they can see why. That I have a plan, I've thought it out, I look at all these topics, and we make sure we get everything covered. Now, having said that, these topics in here, they come directly from the College Board's published curriculum. So the College Board tells us what's going to be on the exam. They even tell us, like for Unit 1, for the BC test, 4 to 7% of this material will be on the exam, or the exam will contain 4 to 7% of this material, and so on and so forth. So all of these things you see in blue here, those were the things that were back on my long-range plan, and I cover each of these topics. So we're doing all of these blue topics, which is the AB course, and the purple ones are the BC, so we have to add those in there. And we have these 2 extra units at the end. All right, so I follow this curriculum very closely. My goal is to have you get that college credit and be prepared to take that exam. So there is a link to OneNote in Google Classroom. That's what I use to distribute materials. I don't really use Google Classroom, but if you go to Google Classroom and you look at that, so let's do that. Let's go into your Google Classroom. If you go to classwork, this is pretty much what you're going to see. I use AP Classroom as well, but we're going to go to this OneNote. There's a link there, and it's going to bring you to a web page of our book, and this is where I distribute materials. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the one in the app. So when it comes up on the web, you will see this these pages, right? So everything I do here in this video, and also anything we do in class, you can take a look. So you can see, like, we're on Unit 1 limits. It's got the date, Right? I use this because when I write on it, as you see, as we went over some of these, it gets updated live so the students can see it if they're not in school or if they want to look back at what I wrote. Some of them might even have their devices open on their desk as I write. You can see like I list what the homework is. I have our classwork in there. So I have all of that stuff, everything basically. So it's nice. It's like a calendar. You can see the date we worked on stuff. And this will be a link to your notebook in Google Classroom. It'll show this stuff in particular. And once again, you can come back and reference any of these materials by going to the open house tab and then picking the day. If you want to see this thing again with all these details, it's right there on the welcome page. All right. Some reasons why I use OneNote as my delivery system for class. I like that it's live and that they can view it at any time. And so that's important, that if they're out sick or they miss a day or they're on a college visit, they can see exactly what went on in class. I use the notebook like I have right now. I would project this to the TV in class. Sorry, I still left in the Zoom thing, so who knows if we go back to hybrid. Oh my God, I'm so excited to be back in school. I don't want to say it, but if we ever have to go back to hybrid, it works really nicely as well because I can just Zoom the screen share the Zoom on this thing and they can see it over Zoom. So we have class and I'm doing the practice together all the time and I'm writing stuff down and now students can see what I write even if they're at home. So like this notebook again is that live idea. I also like it because it's got the dates, it's organized, and just keeps us on track. And when I say us, I even say me because it'll keep me on track for whatever it is. Like as we're going through my long range plan, it kind of lets me know that I'm on track or if I'm ahead or if I'm behind. All right, a note about assessments. Right now I'm easing in with assessments, so it's mostly just completion of work. The first couple like in-class quizzes that I give, like these little daily quizzes, they're not going to count. It's going to be so that they can see and get used to how I grade stuff. And that's really what I wanted to say about assessment. Again, I am doing total points overall. So if you have any questions about anything that you've seen here, please feel free to reach out and email me to ask. Thank you.